Good morning. To start our service today, we'll sing number 6 in the gray hymnal, Just as Long as I Have Breath, number 6. If you could please stand or sit, whichever you prefer You may be seated. Good morning to all of you, and welcome to the Metro East Unitarian Universalist Congregation. Greetings as well to those watching this service remotely. My name is John Herndon. My pronouns are he, him. The Metro East Unitarian Universalist Congregation, formerly known as First Unitarian of Alton, is a small congregation now in Glen Carbon, Illinois, spiritually led by the Reverend Dr. Claudia Hall. We remember those who came before us. We remember our spiritual ancestors who built and sustained our church in Alton. They are many, and their collective memories guide and direct us through all of our days. We are conscious that the land that we occupy is shared. The universe has granted us the perfect place to grow our food, give us shelter, and to grant us and give us space for spiritual practice. To that end, we are also conscious that we must protect the land that we borrow, so that the generations to come can grow and thrive in harmony and love with the universe that is. We also recognize that the land is stolen and occupied from the first people, the Anoka, the Tamaroa, and the Osage. Others have come to invade and seize, while others to live in harmony and share. Our land is baptized in the blood, sweat, and a river of tears from enslaved Africans who were forced from their home and their home of their ancestors to become chattel property here in this land. May our spiritual practice recognize these relationships as we strive to live in harmony with our past, our present, and be forever conscious of the future that we create. We are a spiritual people, a people of faith and love, and we are also glad that you are here, whether in the sanctuary or online. And I welcome everyone into this home of comfort, spirit, justice, and hope. We are Unitarian Universalists. We open the service today with a prelude by our accompanist, Joy. important ritual in the Unitarian Universalist faith is the lighting of the chalice. Unitarian Universalists have many different interpretations of the flaming chalice, including the light of reason, the warmth of community, and the flame of hope. As an expression of leadership in the community, we usually have one of the children select somebody to come light the chalice. As they approach you, please say yes if you are able to help them build their leadership skills as the next generation of our Unitarian Universalists. Join me in celebrating all these reasons and more. If you are watching elsewhere and you have a chalice or candle, light it now as we all join in saying the unison words on the screen. Thank you. We hallow this time together by kindling the lamp of our heritage. Today's message resonates with all of our UU principles, but especially the fourth, free and responsible search for truth, and the sixth, world community with peace, liberty, and justice for all. And for me, always the eighth principle that is proposed that may be rolled into some other changes in our particular faith and our creed. The eighth says that we, the member congregations of the Unitarian Universalist Association, covenant to affirm and promote journeying toward spiritual wholeness by working to build a diverse, multicultural, beloved community, by our actions that accountably dismantle racism and our other oppressions in ourselves and our institutions. As part of our weekly worship service, we take time for the expressions of joys and concerns or sorrows. In front of us is a bowl filled with water and the stones available to place in the bowl representing your joys and concerns. I think we usually please start on the right and then proceed to the left as you take a moment and stop to reflect, send your energy out to the universe, and place your stone or stones into the water. Our story for all ages today is called Our Place in the Cosmos. It's by Erica Hewitt. We humans have always looked up to the stars. I think this story is very relevant too for the events of tomorrow. Hopefully some or most of you will be able to experience that tomorrow, the solar eclipse. We humans have always looked up at the stars, wondered about them, and even told stories about them. During the many thousands of years that human beings have been looking up at the stars, we've changed our understanding of what the universe looks like and how it works. More than 500 years ago, a man named Nicholas Copernicus was born in Poland. He watched the stars and planets and used his observations to come up with a unique and upsetting idea. In his day, most of the people thought that the Earth was the center of the universe. They also thought that the stars were little holes in a glass ball around the Earth. Copernicus thought, what if the universe doesn't move around the Earth? What if the Earth is actually a planet circling the sun? He wrote a book about this idea, which wasn't popular. If he hadn't died soon after that, he probably would have been put in jail. Today we know that Copernicus was right, that our planet Earth circles the sun, which is a star. It took a long, long time, hundreds of years, for people to finally believe this and to stop saying that the Earth was the center of the universe. But for hundreds of years, the universe revolved around the Earth, was so stuck in people's mind that it became part of their religion too. It was kind of a religious belief, so when Copernicus said, I don't think that the heavens revolve around the Earth, he was speaking as a scientist, but the church had heard it as a challenge to their religion. There's a word for that. It's called heresy. That means that it's just not scientists, but anyone could get in big trouble for promoting the idea that the sun was the center of the universe. Believe it or not, this upsetting theory of Copernicus intersects with the story of our Unitarian Universalist ancestors. Not very far away from Copernicus, where he watched the planets and stars, there was a land called Transylvania and a land of rolling green hills and mountains. Transylvania is where some of the first Unitarians had built their churches and formed their faith right about the same time that Copernicus wrote his book about the earth revolving around the sun. Our Unitarian ancestors knew what it was like to say and believe things that could get them in trouble. One of these things was Ez Aj Ishchin, God is one. When we say God is one, we are saying that we don't agree with the Christian doctrine that Jesus was God incarnate, and we're saying that he was fully human. A lot of Unitarians in Transylvania and elsewhere died because they wouldn't stop believing saying that. One of the villages in Transylvania, today a part of Romania that's ethnically Hungarian, or Oklund, its Unitarian church is over 400 years old. Like a lot of Transylvanian Unitarian churches, the church has a wooden ceiling that's divided into deep square panels. Most of them have flowers or plants painted on them, but there's one very special ceiling panel, a sun surrounded by circling planets. It is a diagram of the Copernican solar system. In Blessing the World, Rebecca Parker writes, holy regard for knowledge is at the heart of our religious faith. At a time when religion was opposing science, our ancestors in the remote mountains and valleys of Transylvania built sanctuaries that affirmed the discoveries of science. They did so even when the dominant religious culture advocated ideologies that allowed no new revelation. Let us celebrate these gifts, which have been woven into our religious DNA. We belong to a tradition in which religion and science have never been forced apart or asked each other to be silent. We as a people encourage one another to explore and discover, to ask questions and declare that revelation is not sealed and will never be sealed, and to freely follow the call, whatever its source, that connects us most deeply to this world inside of us and to the universe outside of us. My message today is a little bit of a continuation the last time that I talked here. Oh, sorry. Okay. Sorry, I meant to ask about that. So as I was saying, the message today is a little bit of the continuation of last time that I talked. It's a little bit more of a rant again, so I apologize for that. We'll get to some more positive things in this a little bit and maybe in the next time too. But there's still a few things in this world that we live in today that we need to rant about frequently. So. As far as we can tell, the universe is infinite and transcendent. Remember this word, transcendent. Transcending our understanding of everyday life. We mostly live in a fast-paced world. Life's basic chores fill our days, getting to work, getting kids to school, taking care of elderly parents, making lunches, getting dinner. Our lives are complicated, and we experience the opposite of transcendence. And what is the opposite of transcendence? It's immanence. Remember this word, we're going to come back to it soon, too. Corporate religion, as I speak of corporate religion, basically is our Christian industrial complex that we live in today. Corporate religion stresses transcendence. The creation of all things is a bridge for the next phase. All things in this life point to the life after death. Corporate Jesus teaches us that dominion over all things, or as it's known as dominionism, serves us in this life to lead to the afterlife. The fallacy of dominionism teaches that humanity has the power or dominion over all the earth and everything non-human, the earth, animals, plants, and the most fervent dominionists, I would say, also place women in that non-human category. Climate change deniers take their energy and their commitment from the dominionist scripture. God has given mankind power over all the earth and the ability to do whatever he feels is necessary. Why worry about what the earth is happening to when obedience to God and who they believe created it leads to a life in a paradise that transcends this world? Anyone see the disconnect there? Forced birth corporate religion asserts male dominion over human creation and male dominion over the female. This is why corporate dominionism or corporate dominion religion insists on the fallacy of gender rigidity. If gender is fluid, this threatens the male dominance. This is why corporate dominion Jesus Incorporated denies the LGBTQIA existence. And as I would say now, the 2S LGBTQIA, to add the two-spirit designation there. It denies this existence because it associates those people with femininity. And power and dominion is everything. It is their sacrament. It is their fetishism of all things male and maternal and immanent. And it is the poison that affects us all. The insistence on a transcendent, all-powerful God allows dominionist corporate religion to ignore responsibility. How many examples of ignored responsibility do we see now, day after day? Remember the opposite of transcendence, it's immanence, being present in the world here and now. Non-corporate dominionist theologians would define a transcendent God as a divine being outside the world and not subject to the laws of nature and outside the universe. But immanence, as a theological definition, would have God present in the world and existing in all things. My reprogrammed brain sees the joys of the world. Being present in the world, our Unitarian Universalist faith gives us life and tools to see the beauty and the fullness of all existence. We can also identify and name all that is not beauty and leads to destruction and devastation. Evil is a choice that humans make, not the result of some anti-deity. Immanence shows us that dominionism is a choice that leads to destruction and negatively impacts all of us, including those who falsely claim dominant power. Immanence gives us responsibility. We have an absolute responsibility to ensure that generations now and to come are able to live and grow with abundance that is sustainable and values all beings, animals, plants, and I would even include rocks and the soil and everything that makes up the earth. We are also essentially made of all these basic elements. Eminence commands that climate justice is an absolute priority to ensure that generations thrive and prosper. Eminence demands that the female in femininity is to be celebrated, and not necessarily as a separate gender, but because we all have femininity and masculinity in varying degrees that help us view the world and live our lives as nurturing, responsible human beings. Eminence demands that forced birth is a desecration of humanity, the basic rights to control one's own body and reproductive choices. Eminence is the basic essence of humanity, the here and the now, all of existence, existing now, building on the progress of the past, learning from the mistakes of the past, and giving us all the responsibility to build a future here on this planet that nurtures and sustains all and everything. Stewardship is both financial donations as well as volunteering our time and talent and treasure. We continue to need support for worship, coffee hour, ushering. If you can't write a check, please help our church survive and thrive by offering your time to help. Please give what you can, because all of your gifts are needed for our church to prosper. You may mail your financial gift to First Unitarian Church, Post Office Box 494, Alton, Illinois. I assume that's still the preferred method, right? Or a method that can be used now. Okay, great. Or you can give electronically through the Give Liffey or PayPal links on the church's webpage. If you're willing to donate your time and talent, please contact a board member and let us know you were able to give and what you're able to give to help. Give what you can and what you are able, for you are generous people. Please join me in the offering prayer that's on the screen. May this offering equip us to inspire love and to seek justice. Are there any announcements today that anybody has?
Good morning. Well, we always want to thank you for masking in the sanctuary. That helps people like me and Claudia and a few other people. On April 13th, we have the collage event here at the lodge. We do not need to break down this week, and we do not need to break down on, no, we do need to break down on the 21st, so. No, the Masons changed their schedule, so we're good on that. Also Peg has a form or a clipboard out there. I couldn't get the link to open on my phone, but we need volunteers to help set up and take down and stuff like that. So, and unless anybody has any more, that's it.
All right, I made this announcement last week. I'll make it again. Tomorrow, there's a thing where the moon moves in front of the sun. Happens occasionally. if you miss this one, it'll happen again in 2044. So that'll be cool. 2033 if you want to go to Alaska. So we have asked the UU Fellowship of Carbondale, Illinois, if they would be willing to open up their building and have restrooms available because Carbondale is in the totality. So a group of people from this church are going to be meeting here tomorrow at about 8:30 a.m. ish. It's about a 2-hour drive. We're gonna caravan down there and set up. The eclipse itself starts around 12 something. Totality is right around 2 o'clock and then ends 4 minutes later, and then the full eclipse ends at around 3 something. So pack your own picnic lunch, bring some lawn games. We're gonna hang out. I'm gonna do some science for some kids. What now? Yeah, bring chairs and things like that. And then probably bring enough picnic for dinner because we're just gonna assume there's gonna be a lot of traffic. We're gonna not deal with that and have a picnic instead, which sounds way better than sitting in traffic. So if you're interested and you haven't let me know, it'd be nice to let me know. It's not required. I'm just trying to get some approximate numbers. If you have eclipse glasses or you can get them, bring them. If not, I will have a few available for people that don't have them. Make sure you have nice, certified, official, tested, standards compliant glasses. Safety briefing will be part of the whole deal as well. So that's it. I will see some of you tomorrow.
I'm going to a winery in southern Missouri. All right, I invite you to join me in reciting a prayer as I extinguish the chalice. The light of truth and meaning cannot be put out. We are keepers of this flame until it be. For our closing words, or our initial closing words, we will sing hymn number 317, We Are Not Our Own, number 317, and it will be projected on the screen. Okay. Our last closing words are a poem entitled The Darkness Divine by Crossen. God resides in the depths of darkness and in the light of sunbeams. The moon shines brighter, surrounded by night, and life is secure in the black waters of the womb. As the night sky littered with stars demonstrate again and again, there is beauty in darkness and beauty in light. One no more brilliant than the other, one no more necessary than the other, one always complementing the other. Without the heated darkness of the universe, splitting atoms, electrons, and protons from atoms, life and light would never be. The task of us for today is to recognize God in both, to see the divine in the rich brown earth and the textured black walnut, as well as the white snow and the pale pink jellyfish, to see the sacred in the panther and the swan, to embrace the dignity of the Black Madonna as embodied in the Virgin Mary. The task for us today is to look into the multifaceted colors of the onyx and see the miraculous spectrum of color produced in the prism of the diamond. So may it be.